Hello everybody, my name is Madam. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, the trilogy. We are on episode 5, Rise from the Ashes. We are on the second day, Trial Former. I don't know what Trial Former means, but yeah. We are on the second day, February 23, 9:34 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 2. How did the investigation? What? How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there is one decisive difference between you and her. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. And good luck to you too. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's going to bail me out this time. Mia. I'll be alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself. We can do it. Don't worry, Phoenix. We can do this. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. Thank you. February 23, Channing District Court Courtroom number 9. Yay, no more one karma. Court is now session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since this trial. I have the personal feelings will be part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path that I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she who was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office locked. Wow, she's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. What does that mean? Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. Prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Star, to the stand. The cough-up queen? Oh, there she is. Haven't I seen you somewhere? Ooh, that looks so good. You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Yes. I'm going to say yes. Oh, caviar! I've never eaten caviar before. I don't think anybody has, except rich people. The judge is really wolfing it down. And for you, I have a fiesta bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? And you, sir? And you, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It's too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name, profession, now. Me? The name's Angel Star. Don't go forgetting it. I found myself running luncheon these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. Prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Miss Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. Huh? What exactly does that mean? 2 years ago, Miss Angel Star was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. Really? What? Miss Star was a detective? I know who you are. Cough up? Cough up, Queen Angel Star, Your Honor. Long time no see. Very well, you may continue with your description, Miss Star. Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. The chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor's spaces, yes? The crime took place by a car in the back of A block in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for... Oh, okay, sorry. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness, and then an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. Parking lot floor plans. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after I apprehended the chief prosecutor. It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright? I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Star. Wait, are they talking about me? They better not. Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. Garish or garish? The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then, she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Oh no. Sorry. Bring a lunchbox to your boyfriend? How touching. As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman. So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. This is cross-examination. I always knew a day like this would come. What does that mean? How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic appearance of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. Large ladies' uninformed opinions is duly noted. Given that they are used to raising inconvenient evidence at their whim, killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Star, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well, you may continue, Miss Star. On my way to the lunchbox. You sensed something? So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like... how would you say... Oh, yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. I have no idea what that means. Me neither. Speaking of a detective's intuition, Wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodwin also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese. A young cheese? A pale white cheese not yet tamed with experience on the streets. A greenhorn. Then I must be hard-yellowed and sharp as a tack. Yeah, with the odor of an old cheese match. In any case, there in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. And what was that? With a wild fence, blah blah blah. By Garsh car, you mean... Was it Garsh or Garsh? Miss Edgeworth's car, yes. Miss Edgeworth's? Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Miss Edgeworth's. Wasn't it? Indeed it was. It was indeed. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you're sure it was the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her. If she's saying the truth, we're doomed. I don't know. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness, in your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me? I'll fry you like a fritter. Crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was inspiring. I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism. I may be relegated to the lowly post lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. Photograph. You took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap. I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera. I suppose it's more exciting than just hanging around your neck. Witness. Why am I seeing this photograph just now? You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in photography division of criminal affairs. Well, this is most certainly the defendant. Crime photo added. Uh-oh. That is unmistakably... Mistakenably? That is unmistakably Lana Sky. So, what was the defendant doing at the time? Chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her hand. And she thus... Tell the court what you did to try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no? The defense has a point. Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late? Yes. The next moment, Chief Prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You've said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Jesus, don't smile like that. Sorry. Okay, somehow... This boyfriend, he's the detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard. That boyfriend? You have several? Yes. This boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. I'll stick with lunches, thanks. Note to self, the judge had to think before replying. The security guard room was in A block. It's up on the second level so you can see everything from there. That would be through with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. I'm missing something. Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Miss Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all. Yes, that's about right. Prosecutors are, by nature, well versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it's easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. You can't justify her ability to kill an egg, I mean, a person. Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor? So, the defendant was holding a knife. What then? Okay. I think it's this one.
Objection!
And you witnessed this? You saw Miss Sky stab the victim with a knife? As I've already said, yes. I served on my finest salmon swirl lunch. I'm sure that is a fine lunch. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took at the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Sky not holding a knife? Mr. Just your thoughts? Objection. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet it was still stronger than your ever feeble mind, right? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing.
Objection!
And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photograph. Yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem, except you. Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse? You got a better idea? Objection. Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it? If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo size under the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder.
Objection!
Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hand in that photograph. Well, are those gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? Oh, that's why there's no fingerprints. It was not premeditated. She would not be wearing those gloves. What? Hold on. No trace of fingerprints. No prints. Yeah. Huh. These gloves do seem to tell the tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder. A serious offense. Premeditated murder. Okay. Witness, add this to your testimony. Murder was planned, the rubber gloves prove it. What if she was just... What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves? Like driving gloves.
Objection!
The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves of the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was a I don't even know how to read that word. Premeditated crime. Why can't I read that word? Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Starr. This is bad. She's all been thinking this was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. I've got to think of a way to show that this wasn't premeditated. It's only a first year, Mr. Wright. You said it before. Anything else? Okay. Oh, shit. I didn't need to... Hold on. Percent... Murder's plan, the rubber gloves prove it. What's this? Oh wait, this is the phone, duh. Something victim's blood, right? Either that or he's cut himself peeling an apple. What's he doing with a knife like this anyway? Hey, maybe he spends his weekends roughing it in the wild. Interest in the wild? I think my fruit peeling theory is more likely. Are you kidding? I always pictured him as an outdoorsman. Oh, there's a scary thought. Huh. Okay. It's cool that we can, like, check it even in court. That's pretty cool. Okay. Traces of victim's blood, no prints.
Objection!
Not sure what that has to do with it. Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell box lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Miss Serger's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? The bloody murder weapon, red car, all belonging to the prosecutor there? The defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district, right? Mommy, prosecutors bad people. The defense has a request. We also have the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, Rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Sky planned this murder. And that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most Why would she not also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? Oh. This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. Order, order! Great, now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Bah! The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Sky, murdered his detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution needed to prove. Nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now? But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't... What? I didn't even get to read that. I didn't even press any. I didn't even get to... Girl, let me read, please. I believe I'd like to hear a testimony again. Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now. Angel's deduction. Witness's testimony. Lana Sky intended to murder Detective Goodman. Did she now? That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. And nothing else could drive the human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. The order was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? No. Unless you're... I don't know. In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness. Thank you, Your Honor. Angel's deduction. Last guy intended to murder Detective Goodman. Why? You said that, but you haven't told us how you know. That's what I'm about to tell you, rookie. I believe what she just said was a mere prelude to the story she was about to tell. Try not to interrupt her again. Rookie, I will interrupt her whenever I want. Thank you. Never interrupt a storyteller. It's like pulling a bun out of the oven half-baked. Something's half-baked here, alright? It's you. Trying to confuse the defense witness. They're not very quick on their feet. Wow. Now, why did you believe the suspect had intentions of to murder the victim? Her exes speak for themselves. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. You have no proof that Miss Sky called him there. You have no proof that she didn't. Miss Richard's thoughts? There is no record of a call made on the defendant Miss Lana Sky's phone. She might have written him a letter. Come on, you could have tried a public phone first at least. In any case, the victim came to the prosecutor's office where he was murdered. I'm sure he had a reason to be there. Witness? Why do you think it was the suspect who summoned the victim that day? I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against him. A grudge against the victim. What kind of grudge? Well, I wouldn't know that. Of course you don't. That's because she didn't have a grudge. Rookie. I have a lunchbox here. Now, what's inside? How am I supposed to know? See? We agree there's a lunchbox here, but we don't know what's inside. A person's life is like a lunchbox with pretzels. Don't you agree? I get it. That's why my lunch was so salty. This isn't very good with metaphors. Suspects had a grudge against Detective Goodman. Will you tell us your basis for thinking this? It's simple. Nothing else could drive the human machine to plunge the knife in again and again and again and again. A human machine? That's a contradiction.
Objection!
Please. Can't you find fault with something of substance, Mr. Wright? Notice how Mr. Richard's size smelled like citrus fruit. Eh? What? Okay. You say again and again. How many times did she stab him exactly? We often say chop into 1,000 pieces, but we don't actually mean 1,000 pieces. What difference does it make if the deed is done? How about she's getting mad at me? Let's just say she stabbed him several times and leave it at that. Leave it at that. This is a murder case, people. A murder case. That's right, you should speak up when you have an eviction, you know. I'm sorry I started to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Challenging her abilities as a detective really set her off. The short wick burns out the fastest. It's a scientific fact. I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax and even a really short wick will burn longer. Obviously, more scientific testing is required. Alright, let's see. Death due to loss of blood, one knife wound. One knife wound. Ah, I see. You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Star. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that the death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. I was supposed to say that. Aha, you're right. Good shot. No. I am the one who presented it. Okay, it was in my court record. Okay, well, technically it was in the whatever. But I was the one who presented it, so you should be saying good job to me. Sorry. What a hunk. He's my hero, really. What about my ejection? No one noticed? Right? How dare they? Well, witness. You got the crime scene set, right? Oh, thanks. I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now, I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Spotted blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you saw that you thought it was blood. Testify! Testify. Her muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly this whole scene was. Her red muffler? Yes, like a scarf. The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck. So she can be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose. She's right. Miss Scott was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? But wait. Isn't it all you mistook that for splattered blood? Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib. Really? It looks nothing like a bib, though. Judge was a bib. That's why this place feels so much like kindergarten sometimes. Actually, I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest. Where? However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There's only one knife wound. Apparently, Miss Star is entirely sure of her own testimony. Mr. Wright, this is our chance. Chance for what, I wonder? Miss Star's trying to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Challenging her abilities as a detective really set her off. Okay. Why are we repeating this? This guy. Oh, damn it, I keep pressing the wrong button. And then this one? This one.
Objection!
Miss Star, I demand an explanation. Excuse me, I wasn't finished. Rude. Notice is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you've proven yourself with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be. Only professional alone say you could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations. Perhaps you found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good. In the end, reserve prevails. What was my objection? Chopped liver? But it was there. A scarf. No, not that. It was something red. Really. Well, no. Where were we? What has this given us an entertaining interlude but back to business. What? Back to business. Very well, but let's continue your testimony. You saw the crime apprehending the suspect? Tell us about that. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of your testimony. The most important part? The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Apprehending the suspect. Alright. After the murder, the suspect seemed to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly called her up, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile. You're quite determined about the scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is this kind of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self. Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. I'm pretty sure everybody is weak to poisonous snake bites, but okay. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my head aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Thank God. Very well, Miss Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will. Sorry. Sorry. That's a murder suspect. Quickly called her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect? How did you... What? Hold on. How did you arrest her so quickly if you were in the other block? The Star? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press her for more details. Press her, obviously. I'd like to see this on the floor plan just to be safe. That car was... She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block. Yep, that's right. So you witnessed the murder from here? That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes. Oh, sorry. That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes. Is that correct, Mr. Star? Yes, that's right. But there was a chain link fence in front of you? I went over it, of course. Amazing! The cover of Queen Lunch the athlete, indeed! Hold up. I need to check something. Wait, she said she climbed over it, right? How did she climb over? How tall is that fence? Never mind. It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. So she couldn't have gone to my sister that fast. True. Yeah. Yeah, their fence was about 9 feet high too. Unless she's a super fast climber, then I'm not sure. So how did Miss Sky not get away? Because she never did it. She mentioned the muffler. She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say? If I remembered exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Then why'd you say it? Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler. Just that one word? Wait. So what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else? What if she meant like a car muffler or something? Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean... By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at this crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? My memory. It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see. No, the court doesn't see, Mr. Starr. Chief prosecutor forced him to use the phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently it was out of order. And so she used her cell phone? Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witnessing, witness. Good witnessing? I remember to good testifying. You should of course add this to your testimony. The things I do to please the rookie defense attorney. On cell phone updated. I saw it all how to try the phone on the wall, but had to use her cell instead. Oh, sorry. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court? Aha! I was going to ask the same thing. I'll only say this one time, so listen close, rookies. Chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. Kill the witness. He picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. And during that time you climbed over the chain link fence? Then, when I boldly grabbed her arm, Chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this? What is it, Mr. Wright? Huh. Chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel's star resistance is futile. Okay, hold on, wait. So, I saw it all how she tried the phone on the wall, but had to use her cell instead. But there is a literal wall, right? Because look, there's like a wall there. Hold on, is there another photo? Yeah, look, here too, there's a wall. So, how did you know? How did you know that?
Objection!
Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Sky.
Objection!
Objection! The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unarmed by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you would be my knight-in-shining armor prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up. Ahem. Let's look at the floor plans. You say you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Sky making that phone call. Uh-huh. I believe you see where I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. That's right. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. That's right. Which means... Order, what is the meaning of this? Which means... She wasn't in B block, she was definitely In the A block. Who knows? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up blood. She's coughing up lies.
Objection!
That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me to question? That's exactly what lie the witness told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. Witness lied about... what she saw, where she saw it. This guy tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about that? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Starr to lie about it. Pointless to lie? I see. But say the witness did actually see Mr. Scott using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Starr witnessed the crime from a different location.
Objection!
A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I've ever heard one.
Objection!
Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was this witness when she saw the crime? All testimony you've heard until now points in one direction. The place from where the security room. Right here.
Take that!
This is the only place where she could have been. The security guard room? Yeah, because of her one of her boyfriends is a security guard. Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built in on the second floor so you can see the entire lot. Should have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many places where she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room. Yes, one of her boyfriends. Well, Miss Starr, how many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today, a man has got the better of Ringo Starr. Order! Witness! What have you done? You're a big detective, you should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished, and I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty? She talking about Miss Sky? Mr. Wright, doesn't that strike you as odd? Why did Miss Starr lie? It doesn't make any sense. Huh? She could have just said she saw the crime for the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells us all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands.
Objection!
It still stands. I disagree, Miss Edgeworth. What? If what is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Who else? Mr. Wright, let's read what we know. Miss Starr risks the crimes from the security guard station. But she lied and said she was sorry from B block. It must make a vital difference, but what? What would change? The distance of the crime. Or the angle. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime.
Objection!
My condolences, Mr. Wright. But one look at the floor plan and it is quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see.
Objection!
What she saw is no question here. What matters is the time it will take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Sky? Well, witness? You. Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? Quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam for my boyfriend. Boysenberry for the boyfriend. He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass folk station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. So we went all that way. That's why I had to go through the visitors parking in B block. That's quite a detour. It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. For 5 minutes? 5 minutes? What? It changed things considerably. But it was that woman over there in the fence chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork. You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention. Ooh, would you like another caviar lunch? Absolutely. Uh-oh. That's right, you have to do something. I haven't you to stop this? Yes.
Objection!
5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make pasta in an amount of time. If you like it al dente. Huh? I feel lunchboxes that type pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange? If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor? Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey, don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone. But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run. But this time was different. Miss Sky dawdled out of the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act that way. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. Rose has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Miss Redworth is the next witness ready to go. Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated the witness on account of her professional history. We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. That was too close. I'm afraid that the cover queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned. Oh boy. Hold it. Miss Redworth, you ordered squid wheels, right? That's what she tried to voice off on me. I prefer to take the defense teams afterwards. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence. What was that? Is another one of her trick lunchboxes? My apologies, but we have to know further questions to ask you, Miss Star. Is this your jumbo lunchbox? Woohoo! A triple-decker! Out of defense of the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence. Like the legend motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she going to pull out of her lunchbox this time? I guess we'll see. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe, did I not bring this up? You didn't. 2 drops of blood were found on this shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type was that of the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. What? It was blood found on that shoe? Try lunch for your lunch and decisive evidence needs. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple. As I've already said, I don't trust you with evidence, Miss Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests performed? Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. In any case, Ron, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the true rules of evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is legal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. You're sure celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Nah. Is that right, Mr. Wright? Seems so. This is looking pretty solid. You could at least study some evidence law, really. The prosecutor's complaint is not without standing. It appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness. Count against you? Sorry. Anything to show that the guilty are properly judged. You can shoot at it. Okay. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Cross-examine I shall. Why did you lie about this 5 minutes? I guess you could say I just wanted people to look at the results. The results. How many times do I have to say this? I saw the 2 prosecutors have the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, a 5-minute blank means nothing. And why did you just tell the truth? Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile lot known as prosecutors. Falsified evidence, erasing testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. Do real prosecutors do that? Probably not. This was when a suspect is admitting she did it. But false testimony is the most predictable crime of all, Miss Starr. Let's just get this over with. And now to the matter. And you found the shoe at the scene of the crime? I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. Hold up. She's got both her shoes on. There's no blood on it. So useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. So, like an ill-trained pooch, you stuck out with the shoe. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe was my secret weapon if that should happen. Oops. See this vegetable basket I have here? It carries more than lunchboxes, gentlemen. I'm happy for you and your lunchbox bag, really. In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now tell us what you did next. 2 tons of blood were found. 2 reports to the forensics department. If you're going to submit anything as evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert. And she got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective. The shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it. Well, the man was stabbed after all. And that blood belongs to Detective Goodman? As I said, there were 2 tons of blood found on the shoe. You can't say for sure that the blood belongs to the defendant with a blood test. You claim to know something about blood tests, Rookie. Huh? Well, speak up. Well, blood comes in 4 types. A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood. got a point. That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright. Actually, we can differentiate between means that touches with all the blood tests out there. Which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person. Or so I hear. That's pretty specific. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results. But they said there's very little doubt there could be anyone but Miss Lana's skies. The suspect's blood was found in the victim's shoe. That ties it directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid he was going to say that. I can't let the servants go through without a fight. You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like it clean. Here's enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe? A problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? Yes. Wait. No. Sorry. I put the wrong one. Sorry. I don't know why. I thought I could. Wait. Hold on. Wait, no! Maybe I should have seen this. Huh? Yes, there's a problem. If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there's one critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Try the problem with the evidence. Okay. Here?
Take that!
I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of this shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. Indeed, there's quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about blood on the bottom of this shoe? Of his shoe, sorry. Because there's no blood here.
Take that!
Problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? Know that the bottom of the victim's shoe was covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? Aha! As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about the shoe.
Objection!
This picture only shows part of the floor, so they could have been bloody footprints.
Objection!
Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. That's right, we found absolutely no footprints at all. So, order. Well, witness. What? Huh? Great going, Mr. Wright. But there's too much like a footprint is a contradiction. But the owner has asked why there wasn't a footprint. Oh, that's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Mr. Wright, think. Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There is one vital hint to the truth in her testimony. What are you talking about? Think about back to when she told us about apprehending suspects. Yeah, we are. I thought that was strange. I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the Lunchbox factory. Witness, well, was the oil drum empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Oil drum with water? Why did we fill with oil? Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright? Do you want to know the reason when she knocked it over? The real reason? Aha! You don't mean... Yes. Suspect knocked over the oil drum for one reason, and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her. That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoes tie her quite clearly to this murder. Wait, hold on, hold on. But there's the oil drums right there and it's still standing up. And there's no bloodstains on her shoe. We can't really tell if there's bloodstains or not. Well, no, the oil drum is still up, so what? I don't get it. Oh, why, that's a prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. That reminds me, this guy's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she cut herself when she stabbed him? So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe? Wow. Oh, did she accidentally cut herself? And then the blood fell into her shoe? Mr. Wright, do something, please! What? What can I do? Your sister's confessed to the crime, and she tried to conceal it. But... Enough. There's no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor. Very well. But Angel Star was on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water. This qualifies the offense of Miss Nana Sky. Who said that? Oh. Little girl. What did you just say? Uh-huh, me? Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well. I thought you'd had your fill, but here you are, demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence. Oh, wait. Witness, don't tell me you have something else.
Objection!
The time for deliberation is past. Any further comments and you will be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare me, the cover-up queen. Look at this. A photograph? I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest. The white shoe didn't belong to the victim. I see no room for error in this evidence. Mr. Wright, wait. Look at the asphalt in this photo. Hey, it's clearly wet. Huh. Raising that trace of doubt from the court's mind. To me, after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And since this is what your sister wanted anyway. I'm sorry, Mia. Right? Wet or not, Don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up. Get yourself up. Get yourself up off the fat asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up. Not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence. Very well. This time I'd like to declare a verdict for good. Come on. Right. Thank you. Your Honor, wait. What is it with you people? Can I hand out my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can I wait? No, I can't. Then it'll be too late. Look at this photograph, the last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. So, Wright, are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah, I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this. I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem of this photograph. This?
Take that!
The problem with this photograph is here. What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler. Wait just a moment, Miss Edgeworth. Your Honor. You just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scuff of any kind in this photograph. The muffler is also part of a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Oh, I was right. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system. A pipe. I see. And I see. You do? What's that suspicious looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler? So if there's something sticking out of the muffler, what does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Objection!
Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much as in your testimony. What? Let's hear Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to this case. Because of the... Oh, that's right. Hello?
Take that!
Miss Starr. Record your testimony for the court. Ah, yes. Okay, yeah, we know. Muffler. Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. Oh. Well, it seems we will have to suspend the proceedings. Suspend? I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered, If we leave any question unanswered here, we do a disservice. What? If we leave any question unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. I don't know why that was so hard to read. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. Wright will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so. Phew. That was close. But we made it. At least for now. His court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all. He's still hungry? To be continued. Okay. We will continue in another video. That was... I don't know. Holy crap, that was a lot. But anyways, thank you everybody for watching. Day 2 trial letter. Okay, so we're still technically on day 2. We're just, yeah, continuing. Anyways, February 23, 9:56 a.m. District Court Room, Different Number 2. Okay, District Court, not whatever. Anyways, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, leave a like, subscribe, and I shall see you guys next time. Goodbye.